The most violent work done is done in silence. When I was in the SEAL teams, we spent a lot of time at war. I just happened to be in a window of time when war launched, and we were in the heyday of that and kind of in the meat of that for what was the bulk of my operational time in the SEAL teams. My sense is people think all of war are the most explosive moments of a movie. Easy Company hitting the beach and then going through all those campaigns that make those shows and those stories so great, but that it's all chaos, explosions, and violent conflict at a level of sound you can't even wrap your head around. What you find is most of the war is quiet, punctuated by levels of intensity and deafening noise that you couldn't describe if you tried to. But a lot of it's silent, and a lot of that is on purpose, particularly as a special operations soldier, where you're doing things in silent or doing things in a disciplined way to get a good end state result. There's lots of different mission sets that special operators are going to be called on. Obviously, SEALs are known for their background of the sea, using the water and the sea to get to targets. Look, if we had more coastal enemies, we'd be doing more stuff from the water. We've been landlocked a great deal. I did get to do one real world combat operation from the water, from the sea, and it can describe a little bit I'm talking about when it comes to this silence. We rehearse our skill set, the jobs and the tactics and procedures we use to do our job, to a level of professionalism and ability and exceptional performance to where we can do it without anybody having to say a word. That's a benefit tactically if you're in a non-permissive environment or trying to sneak up on a target, but it's also just a level of competence where we don't need to talk anymore. We know what we're doing. I was off the Ivory Coast of Africa with one of my teams, a team that I was actually really just representing. It was a team that I wasn't on, but I was kind of working for the unit that ran that boat and could run missions ashore. Thankfully, one of our senior leaders came and let me actually go run this mission set. But we did what's called an over-the-beach operation, or a hydrographic reconnaissance. We're actually mapping out a beach and its terrain and contours so you can get Marines and other warriors ashore to start prosecuting a greater mission, conflict, or whatever's coming next. We launched our boats, our big rigid hull inflatable boats. They're called ribs. You'd see them in a lot of movies with SEALs bouncing out at sea and going fast. But we launched those from this huge, what's called amphib. It would look like, to most layperson's eyes, an aircraft carrier. It carries a lot of aircraft and Marines and their weapons. It's not an actual carrier that launches jets by catapult, but it's a huge ship. We go over the side with our boats. Not a lot of conversation, but we get in the water. Then as soon as we start making what's called our infill, which means actually moving towards the coast of Africa where we know it's dangerous, let alone the snakes, saltwater crocodiles, hammerhead sharks that were circling our boat, and all those things that were in the water, there's also bad guys on shore that are probably waiting to ruin your day. But as we get close to the shoreline, all talk ends totally. And then with those ribs, we actually just used the ribs on this mission, but you can also run Zodiacs ashore, which we did the following day. But for this reconnaissance, we'll have two of our guys, a couple of our guys, I can't give away too much of exactly how we do it. A couple of guys are going to slip into water, very silently go ashore with their weapons. They're going to sneak up on shore, do a little bit of a security clearance to make sure that the team can come ashore without any words, any reason to use any language. They'll, whether it be with a light or a IR signaling device, they'll let us know it's safe to come in. The whole team now swims in their combat gear, but with a water ability to go get that stuff ashore so it'll function. As soon as we get up into a spot where we'll actually kind of hold a security perimeter, we'll run what's called 50-50 security at that point. So half the team will be weapons up, ready, locked and loaded to hold security. For the other half of the team, they'll get internal of that safety bubble and will change out of their gear. So you get out of your wetsuit, your fins, whatever that is, you get all your combat gear ready, then you will push back to the external side, relieve the person holding security. Now you're on security, your shooting buddy goes inside, gets all his stuff ready. Now everybody's ready. We hide the gear, sink a boat, whatever it might be, to be ready to not leave footprint of what we're doing, and then go in and hit the mission. We can travel miles, kilometers of distance, never saying a word, with absolute high-end precision to get up to a target, all in total silence. It is just an unbelievable representation that if you learn your craft and practice relentlessly to the point that you know it so well, you can do it with your eyes closed, almost your hands tied behind your back, and silently, that team knows how to perform when it counts. We will get all the way to your front door having never said a word. And then at the last second leading up through that total silence, it will get very, very loud. Ever onward.